This dish is a lovely, very simple little broth, which I'm going to make with mushrooms, beans, and I'm going to flavour primarily with miso, but just a few little bits of flavours here as well. Lovely, simple little dish, very fulfilling. But what I want to just talk about very briefly is one of those ingredients in this dish, which is the mushrooms. Now, mushrooms are a very nutrient dense ingredient, but they're very low calorie, which is a great thing to use. They have a lovely, from a culinary point of view, they have a lovely kind of umami flavour. So they're great to use in dishes like broths because they bring a lot of flavour to that, to up that umami. In this particular dish, I'm going to use a little bit of miso as well. And that's going to act as my stock base, if you like. But things with from a nutritional point of view, mushrooms, let's think vitamin D. They're very interesting. They create vitamin D, very like we create vitamin D in the sunlight. So mushrooms are not particularly high in vitamin D unless you leave them in sunlight, and then they start to create vitamin D and they become a great source. So mushrooms, storing them in a little bit of sunlight for a few hours is a very good strategy, or even better, a sun-dried mushroom is quite a good source of vitamin D. Then they're very high in soluble fibre. They're very high in vitamins and minerals. Again, minerals, things such as copper, selenium, which are very good anti-inflammatory. Well, everything is important because everything within your diet, it's all about balance, and that bigger scope of nutrients and minerals that you can get into your diet, the more the better. They're very high in antioxidants as well, and that again can help combat oxidative stress within your body. So the mushroom is a very versatile ingredient. It's very nutritionally dense. It's got a great spectrum of minerals, vitamins that can help combat oxidative stress, and it is a really wonderful little plant-based food to be bringing into your diet as much as you can. And then just to finish this, I'm going to bring the protein into the dish using some beans, plenty of celery. So it's a nice, flavorful, wide spectrum dish, and I hope you give it a go. First of all, to make this dish, I brought about 700 ml of water to a gentle simmer, and into that I'm going to add 2 bay leaves, my garlic, my dried thyme, my dried tarragon, and importantly, my miso. Just going to mix those through there a little bit. Next into that, I'm going to add my onion. Also, I'm going to add my roughly chopped celery, plenty of it. And I'm going to add my mushrooms. I just sliced these. How you like your mushrooms is up to yourself. It depends on the size of your mushroom, but I just think a nice simple slice is best. And this is just a lovely broth. I'm not going to fry this, I'm just going to simmer the whole lot together. And then my drained can of red kidney beans. You could use dried kidney beans and refresh them and boil them up yourself. It's whatever is convenient. So that's essentially the base of our broth. I'm just going to cover that up and allow that simmer come to a nice gentle simmer just to tenderize some of the ingredients and let the flavors infuse. So I've just let that soup come to a nice simple simmer, and as you see there's no cooking to this dish at all. And then just have a little adjustment of your seasoning just to your own taste. The miso is quite a savoury dish or item, so you don't need a lot of seasoning, but again do it to your taste. I'm using a potassium salt because again my preference is not to use a sodium salt, and a little bit of pepper. And then, after allowing that just to tenderize and fuse for a few minutes, I'm just going to finally finish with my spring onions or scallions. Very last minute, and that is it. Ready to go. And then to finally serve this soup, after adjusting the seasoning, just a case of just spooning it into your bowl of your choice and enjoying it. Making sure that when you serve it, that you just mix it around well, because it is a broth and some of the ingredients may be inclined to settle down the base. Getting plenty mix of beans, the mushrooms and everything else in it. And it's a meal on itself. enjoy it. A simple little miso mushroom and bean soup.